and let's begin. So, about the error that we were facing on the last session, the problem was basically this. I'm going to show you in code. We were facing this error, parameter fields not present, and that was because the code that came from ChatGPT or Gemini was this. That is incorrect. What you need is a dash in this section, and they actually provided the example that was correct in the commented section that was already here. I just didn't see it. So replace that with a dash, and then everything works perfectly fine. And now we have imported all of the records, 22 records in total, into type search. And what we're going to do now is start with the rest of the, we're done with the setting and the configuration. Now we're moving on to the main component, the main library component that is going to serve as our homepage, that is going to look like this. This will be the main component, big search bar, couple of filters, and a list of recipes. So let's create this now. I'm going to look for, I'm actually reviewing the code that why do I say ChatGPT if it is Gemini? Let's say Gemini. The code that Gemini generated for me for this project. Again, I'm going to be more careful this time and not just copy pasta. I'm actually reviewing this code first, make sure that it's correct. And if I deem it good enough or worthy enough, we will use it. All right, let's see. So the public properties, those are all good. I'm not sure we should have this as nullable as well. Maybe not nullable, it's just empty arrays, to be honest. The search one, I think that one should be nullable, just like the max prep time. And then we have the render, then we have search from Scout. Can you stop doing that? Using the search parameter. I would put this query behind an if. I don't want to make a query if I don't have a search term. I think I have a solution for that. So we'll do something slightly different than this. We can basically use when, like a query builder when function, which takes a condition, and if that condition is true, then it'll do a query. And on that query, we can do search. And we pass, what is this? Callback function with a client, a string query, and an array of options. Interesting. Define which fields to get facet counts for. Cuisine and difficulty. Per page 9. Build filters. Filter by query string for TypeSense. Oh, okay. Let me see the documentation of Laravel. See what they say about this. All right, searching. You may begin searching a model using the search method. The search method accepts a single string that will be used to search your models. You should then chain the get method onto the search query to retrieve the eloquent models that you want that match the given search query. Do you see a get here? I don't see a get anywhere here. Since Scout searches return a collection of eloquent models, you may even return the results directly from a route or controller, and they will automatically be converted to JSON. If you would like to get the raw search results before they are converted to eloquent models, you may use the raw method. I saw that. Oh, there's the query row. That's the results. Okay. Custom indexes. We're not using that. We're not using where clause either. We are using paginate apparently, yes. And since we're doing paginate, we can do links like this on the template, and we will get pagination on our search results. Of course, if you would like to retrieve the pagination results as JSON, you may return the paginator instead directly from a route controller. Sure, no problem. Soft deleting, I don't care about that. Customizing engine searches. If you need to perform advanced customization for the search behavior of your engine, you may pass a closure as the second argument to the search method, which is what Gemini is doing here. So this is the callback function. Can I make this bigger? Apparently not. All right. For example, you could use this callback to add geolocation data before the search query is passed to Algolia. I'm not using Algolia, but basically that's what they're doing. And they do the search on the client, which the client is of class nothing here. Customizing the eloquent results query, that's fine. Custom engines, we don't care about this. I think what I'm going to do is, okay, so we do want this to customize the engine query for TypeSense. What I'm not sure about is this the correct format for those parameters? Basically faceted parameters. So I'm going to TypeSense documentation, faceting. Let's facet the search results by authors field to see how that works. Let's also use this example to see how TypeSense handles, I'm sorry about the white, by the way. They don't have a dark mode in this page. How TypeSense handles typographic errors. So let's search for experiment with a Y. Notice the typo, I saw it. So these are of query by, facet by, sort by. So the options facet by, that seems to be, sorry, that seems to be correct. Authors, facet by, it's fine. Per page, I don't see that. Semantic search, no, that's faceted. Search, oh, they have a Laravel thing. Oh, they have a video too. By none other than Aaron Francis. Let's see, we already did all of this. He's using Docker, by the way. You can use Docker too. If you don't like to install binaries, you can also run TypeSense on a Docker container. Install Laravel Scout, configure, we already did all of that. Create a model, migrate data, we passed that already. Index data, yeah, that's the searchable array. Collection schema, we already have this done. You can then run a search query to verify that the record has been indexed by TypeSense using this. That's nice. Dynamic search parameters. All right, okay, here is a different approach. See this options thing? So we can do a search and then call options and then pass that. So it's not so much as using a callback function, but actually using a chained method called options and then set the array of things like per page, facet by, but we also have filters. But filters is just another array. And apparently the format for those is like that. So this will be equals to whatever is in square brackets, and prep time is less than or equal a single value. They're using brackets because these are arrays. I get it. I'm still not sold on the way that this is doing, only because I probably can do it with chaining the options method into the search, the recipe into recipe search. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide this, maybe a little smaller. Let's start with the basics. Let's create a new component. PHP artisan, make livewire. I think I'm just going to call it recipes. Recipes. Is that the plural of recipe? No, it's like that. Recipes. Recipes. Make livewire. I don't think I need anything else. Now we have a component. Let's go and edit it. Let's start adding some stuff. I think the parameters are fine. I don't have any objections. And I'm going to use pagination as well. Use, what is the width pagination? I'm going to need a public, probably nullable string. I'm going to set it up to null instead of empty. And I'm also going to need the URL attribute. Let's import that. And I'm going to use as null. I think we could give it a rough test using Tinkerwell though. We'll see how that works so that we can be sure that the code that we're going to use in the component will actually work. So my idea of chaining that options method onto the search will actually yield results. So yeah, we're going to do an initial test of the code that we want to use on the search. We're going to use Tinkerwell for that. Hopefully get some results back from TypeSense, and next session on Friday, we will write the template for the component. Back from the ads. So we have the as null, and then we have history. We want this to be kept in the browser history. So true. What else did Gemini suggested? That's it. Oh, the as is actually asq. This is a string. And then we have selected cuisines. Initialize that to an empty array. Also put it in the URL and keep it in the history as well. Selected difficulties. I'm just gonna copy this, yoink, paste, and finally max prep time. Oh, it's an int, not an array. And then comes the actual search. What are you doing here? Oh, facet counts. All right, let's try this. Let's start easy and simple, and then start complicating things a little bit more. I'm going to use Tinkerbell for this, so that we can iterate on the search and make it more and more complicated, and then we can use it in our component. I believe we have a chef. Yeah, here we go. So for example, let's just type something in. Let's do a simple search, see if we get any results. So we have a bunch of data already in the database. So if we do recipe all and run that, we have 21 records in the database. Let's try and search for one. The search, as we configure it, is going to look for title and ingredients. So let's look for guacamole. What if we do, I'm gonna comment this, not that one. Comment this one out. And let's do recipe, search, guac. And to do, after that, we do a get. And finally, to array, right? Let's see if we get something out of that. Ooh, no search field specified for the query. Okay, really? How's that so? Hold on. Did I miss something in the configuration? Search by, let me check the config real quick. This says query by. Search parameters. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that crap. So if I fix that, uyakata. Aha! Not gonna happen again. I learned. I evolved. I got better. That freaking underscore. Jiminy, please. Jiminy, please. All right. So look at that. We have the search result. I search for guac. I can even typo something like lomi, and I still get the result. Typo tolerance. That's why I like TypeSense. It has a lot of features that you can use for your searches, and it's so good. I swear to God, even if they didn't sponsor the video, I would have ended up using them at some point in a stream. So yeah, we have search results. Let's try the options thingy. Let me go back here. Where is it? I saw you doing it. Options, there you go. So we're gonna use options, but the option that I'm looking for is facet by. So let's try that. Oh, and there is a bunch of filters. Okay, let's start by, no, actually let's try a filter, just one, right? How do we do this? So filter options, pass in an array, and then we do filter by underscore, I think, underscore filter by. And if we take a look at this, we just need to do, let's try cuisine like this. And let's not do this, let's do equals instead. Can I do equal? You still need, oh, okay, let's try this. Cuisine, Mexican. Let's look for Mexican cuisine. All right. And also, let's try that facet. No, wait. Let's do filter by only, not facet. Let's keep it simple. Will that work? Let's see. Also, is there any, doesn't look like it's doing any quotes within the value. Let's try it like this. Let's see. Come on, R. Hey. Now, what if? So I don't, can I just run options without the search? No, I have to do search first. Can I pass an empty string? Totally can. And it's giving me Mexican, 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 Mexican. Let's try the facet parameter. Where is it? Facet by cuisine and difficulty. Ooh, cannot find a facet field named difficulty. Maybe Gemini is hallucinating. What is the field that I was faceting by? It's right there. Oh, double F. There it is. Okay, still working. So if I wanted to have more, two Fs, gotcha. Gotcha. I saw it. Thank you, though. If we could have Mexican, and what's the other ones that we have? Italian, I think. So we have Mexican, 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 Italian. There you go. And let's try and filter by difficulty too. Supposedly, you can just use something like this. Let's do, how do we put it? Difficulty, same thing. Let's just do difficulty. Let's do an equal, oh wait, do this, equals. And let's look for easy, easy peasy. All Mexican and Italian foods with easy difficulty. Still working. Mexican easy, Mexican easy, Italian easy. Search working. Good. And we didn't have to do all of this crap with the callback function and all of the filters. And if, we might have to do it though. Do we have to? Can I get away? No, you know what? I don't have to. Because this is just an array. I can configure that array and add keys to it instead of having to do it inside a callback function in the recipe search method. So before I call recipe search, I prepare an array of options and then pass it over to this options call right here, based on whether we have selected recipes or not, even if we don't have actually. Because if we have an empty array, this will be like that, right? So it'll just look for all of the difficulties. No, it gives us an empty result. Okay, got it. Cool, no, never mind. I'll just have to prepare the options before running the search, which is going to be a lot nicer than this crap. Okay, I'm gonna keep this example here in Tinkerwell. And come Friday, we're going to actually run the search in the component. And then we're going to take the results from that and display those in a nice little way, in a nice little template that looks like this. Bunch of cards with information.